Welcome, and on behalf of the STC CAC Community Affairs Committee, welcome to our open house today. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you came. My name is Ann-Marie Queeney, and I am the CAC Chair. Erin Gaviley, STC Director of Membership and Community Relations, is our technical manager today. And before we begin, I just have a few housekeeping items. One, Erin has placed everyone on mute, and the chat panel is available for questions and discussion. So the CAC team will be participating in the chat also. And I will ask attendees to turn off their videos during our program for the bandwidth, and the open house will be recorded. So now we'll go to the agenda. And here's the topics we're going to discuss today. You're going to meet the new 21-22 CAC team. There'll be some familiar faces and some new ones. We'll discuss our CAC goals and talk about what's new. We have some exciting, several new projects and initiatives that we've begun, and we'd like to share that with you. We'll also talk about some upcoming CAC events this year. Give you a reminder of some important community dates. And of course, today, as we said in our promotion, the CAC is officially launching this year's CAC incentive program right here at the open house. So you will be the first to hear about it and the first to be able to enroll. So as you know, those of you who were involved last year, it was a lot of fun. And so we're going to continue it. And we have a brand new theme. And then, of course, we'll end with some Q&A. So now I'd like to introduce the team. And for those of you who are new or who are new to the CAC, we are an all-volunteer committee whose mission is to support STC's professional chapters, student chapters, and SIGs, or special interest groups, the communities of practice, COPs, and the communities of interest, COIs. And we do this in a variety of ways. We offer educational webinars throughout the year. We have virtual social networking meetups, of course, our annual leadership program, and some one-on-one support. So if you have any questions or are trying to decide, want some feedback regarding something with your community, please contact us. We'd be happy to listen. So let's meet this year's committee members. I do want to mention that several team members could not be here today because they have other commitments. So I will do the introductions on their behalf, but you will probably meet them in some future events. I hope you do. I'll start. Again, my name is Ann-Marie Queeney, and I'm honored to continue as the CAC Chair for this year. I'm also an STC Board Director, and I've been mostly involved with SIGs as a volunteer, member, committee chair, and leader. I think the only role I managed not to have was treasurer. I'm also a member of the Philadelphia Metro chapter, and I live in central New Jersey. So now I'll turn the introductions over to Alex.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Garcia. I'm the vice chair this year. I hail from the Florida chapter, where I held pretty much every leadership position in chapter leadership. So I'm well versed as to what it takes to lead a successful chapter. I've been with the CAC for about 3 seasons so far. This will be my 4th, and I'm here to lend a hand for any communities that have any questions about anything. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
And now I'll introduce Danielle Villegas, who will be returning as our communications director. Danielle had another commitment. She's located in central New Jersey, and she's currently a senior technical writer at Cox Automotive. And she's also the acting president for the Philadelphia Metro chapter, the chair of the Distinguished Chapter Service Award Committee. And so our next member, Sharon Ford, she's also returning this year, but she had another commitment. Sharon served as the Atlanta chapter's vice president in 2021 and is president for the 2022 consul year. Outside of STC, she's a freelance content writer and owner of Tidy Up Content Services. And she also works as the assistant manager for Christian Editor Network, a for-profit serving editors and proofreaders in Christian publishing. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Georgia and has worked as a licensed broker in financial services prior to transitioning to technical communications. And she is currently working on her foundation level of STC's Certified Professional Technical Communicator certification. And so now we'll go to Jamie.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Sagan, and I'm happy to be on the CAC for another year. I've been for the past several years. This year, I'm serving as CAC director, primarily with the project that we started last season with the preferred tool survey. So we've kicked that off. We've already done the survey, and now we're about to share the detailed results within the next day or two. Within STC, I am current treasurer of the Instructional Design and Learning SIG, and I'm also president of the South Central Texas chapter. Within STC, I've held several roles. Right now, I'm on the Associate Fellow Committee, and then in the past, I've served on the CAA and Pacesetter Awards committees. And so I've been fairly active in all aspects of STC. I currently reside in San Antonio, Texas. I work for a retail grocery company within the pharmacy department, so I deal a lot with communications and training and a lot of deals with COVID-19 shots. And a fun fact about myself is when I'm not working or doing volunteer work, I enjoy knitting, cats, Harry Potter, and Animal Crossing.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. And now we'll go to John.
Hi, everybody. My name is John Clement, and I'm this year's Student Outreach Director. I'm thankful to be returning for another year, and my role in the CAC is to serve student chapter leaders and advisors, and just be a liaison for them and the CAC so that I can provide them with STC resources, academic and professional advice, and just ways to help them help everybody grow and flourish their student chapters. And so this year I'm continuing those efforts and hoping to just make that grow. And if anybody needs any student outreach assistance, I will happily be the first source of contact for that.
Okay, thank you, John. I'll introduce Marcia Shannon. Marcia is a new CAC member this year, and she may be a familiar name and face because I know she's been involved with several SIGs as a volunteer and a member and a leader. So that's Marcia Shannon. And now we'll go to Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica Frensley. This is my first year as a CAC director. And I'm working on special projects as they get thrown at me, and I manage to catch them. I've been involved with STC, mainly on the STC Houston chapter level for close to 2 decades, all in all, and am serving as a impromptu director with the STC South Central Texas chapter currently. Professional life, I'm the only tech writer in a small software firm that does seismic analysis software.
Okay, thank you, Erica. And now we'll move to Kylie. see. Have we lost Kylie, or do you have the?
She is on mute.
Oh, Kylie,
I
you're
see
on
her
mute.
video.
Ah. You're still on mute.
Do you want to try to log back out and log back in, and we'll bring you back
It
in a little
doesn't
bit?
show that she's on mute though. So
Yeah.
there must be
Correct.
some technical end
Correct.
problem at her
Yeah.
end.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll go and then we'll come back, Kylie. Okay, so Joel, I will be introducing Joel. He is a new member and he's an ad hoc CAC director. And with ad hoc, that is members who help and participate in activities and projects as their schedule or time allows. And Joel is the STC Canada West Coast Chapter President and a member of the STC Membership Committee. And he is a technical writer with over 20 years experience in diverse fields: aerospace, healthcare, banking, food, and horticulture. So that is pretty diverse. And then we'll go to Lori.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Meyer. I'm also an ad hoc director on the CAC, and this allows me enough flexibility to meet a demanding work schedule and serve this committee as well. This is my second year on the CAC, and it's been a great experience. It's a wonderful team, and both last year and this year, we've had terrific people to serve our STC communities. I've been in STC for more years than I sometimes like to think about, but I have held, like Alex, I have held pretty much every position from president on down. I've been both an elected officer and a volunteer. I've been a president of 3 chapters, co-manager of 2 SIGs, and I have known the joys and sorrows of community leadership from many, many perspectives. So I think that's, a very valuable experience, and I'm really glad that I have had this range of experience. And being a member of many, many communities, I've had the chance to see and appreciate the various personalities of each community and how diverse and energetic that they are. So part of the reason I want to stay on the CAC is that I really appreciate the chance to serve communities, because I think that they're really the heart of STC. And I think the more we can do to strengthen communities, make their leaders' jobs easier, the better and stronger that STC will be. I work full-time at a cybersecurity firm here in the San Jose area, and I'm a senior writer there. And my other companion will be introduced shortly. She helps both me and my colleagues in STC. She's a good morale builder, and so you'll meet her in a minute or two.
Thank you, Lori. Aaron.
Hello, my name is Erin Gaviley, and I'm the Director of Membership and Community Relations at STC. So I'm on staff at the home office. I became, community work has always been a part of my work, but I became the main staff liaison in 2020, in early 2020. So I've had the honor of serving alongside the CAC for almost 2 years now. And it's been a great addition to some of the responsibilities that I've had. I've enjoyed getting to know all the members a little bit more, and it's helped me learn how to better help and serve you. And this group has a lot of great ideas and a lot of good resources, and they'll definitely be an asset to you. And I'm here to help with anything that you might need for CAC related information, for STC, anything community relations, anything community relations and membership related. I'm here to help in any way that you require. If you send an email to our basic boxes or call the main line, you'll get me. So it's an easy way to contact me. But please feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Erin. Todd.
Yeah, hi everybody. Todd DeLuca. Some of you may recognize me. I've been with STC over 20 years now. So the last 10 as kind of a servant volunteer and leader within the various communities. Primarily, most recently, I'm on the STC Board of Directors. I act as the CAC advisor, so I help support any special projects or requests as needed. I currently am a member of the Rocky Mountain Chapter, living in Denver. I work at the National Renewable Energy Lab, working with policies and procedures. So that's my bio.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Let's try Kylie. Has your audio issues been fixed?
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yeah, I can hear.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Kylie Jacobson. I'm an assistant professor of writing at Grand Valley State University in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And as a CAC director, I work primarily with the website task force committee on the transition of the CAC website into the STC home site. I'm also vice president of the Michigan Great Lakes chapter, and I serve as the chair of the STC Scholarship Committee.
Okay, thank you, Kylie. And Kylie, this is a new CAC member, and we welcome her. And now back to you, Lori. I think we have our final intro.
Well, this is our mascot. This is Lucy the cat, and she is very hungry right now. She says it's past my supper time, but this is her second year as our mascot, and she's a great companion. She's my writing assistant when I'm working from home, and so I really appreciate the committee's willingness to have her be part of our experience, and she's a good kitty overall. She's just very hungry right now, so.
Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you.
So
And that's how she became our CAC mascot, because she attended a lot of our meetings and contributed, and she actually did contribute. And so we decided, let's put her to work and make her the mascot. So that's our hardworking CAC team for the year. And, I thank them for stepping up and volunteering, because just like you, we're all volunteers. So thank you. Thank you, CAC team. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. And now we'll talk a bit about our CAC goals and what we have planned for the year. So before we start, I'd just like to take a quick look back at last year, and because it did help us develop our approach for this year. One year builds on the next, just like I'm sure you see it also with your communities. So if I could sum up the CAC approach last year, it would be foundation building. Our educational webinars covered the skills and the tools, to strengthen communities. We can almost think of them as core topics, or almost like pillars of a good community. We had membership courses. We talked about community operations, such as budgeting and community reports. We covered strategic planning for chapters and SIGs, and social media with developing an overall strategy for your community, and a look at Instagram, which some members were interested in implementing. And we even talked about vendor partnerships. So while these skills are important, we need the leadership and the technical skills. The CAC also wanted to build a social foundation. We can think of it as a sense of community among the leadership, because we all know that last year was definitely not a normal year. And the CAC wanted to provide some relief by hosting virtual meetups where leaders got together in an informal setting to network and just have some fun. We had a lot of fun meetups. We had a Halloween theme. We had one at I Heart STC around Valentine's Day. And we even had a yoga class, a virtual yoga class. And of course, we've had our incentive program. And we started that so we could recognize really the contributions of leaders and volunteers and your commitment to your communities. So now, though, it's time to take a look forward. And I can sum up this year after we worked on our goals as really a deep dive. I know that term has been used a lot, but I think it just is the best way to describe where we hope to support the community leaders. We'll continue to build and strengthen the foundation that we started last year, both with skills and with the sense of community. But we're also going to focus on issues that are important to community leaders and volunteers. So you might be thinking, well, how does the CAC know what's important to leaders? Well, I can tell you the CAC does not have a crystal ball, but many of you have told us during our planning meetups in last July and September what the issues were important to you. And so that's where we're going to use your input. And as a reminder, this is what you told us. And it's interesting because the professional chapters, the SIG communities of practice, and the student chapters all had the same top 3 challenges. They wanted to attract new members, increase their membership. They wanted to increase the participation of the members they do have. And lastly, they wanted to recruit new officers and volunteers. Now, we also had a meetup with the SIG COIs, and they are organized a bit differently. So the SIG COIs focus on information sharing and networking, via the STC Slack channels. And several SIGs also hold informal meetups. They're also a bit different that they have volunteer facilitators and they don't have elected officers. But their issues were the same also as the professional chapters and the COPs and the student chapters. They wanted to grow their membership and they wanted to increase the member participation. And for them, that mostly meant activity on Slack. So they're not concerned about recruiting officers or volunteers because it's basically a more informal setup. So those were the issues that were important to leaders. And now we'll go into the goals of our CAC goals. And the first is that while we want to host educational programs. So we're going to continue that. I think that's one of the really strong parts of the CAC year, going back several years. And while we may host webinars on other topics, we will be taking a deep dive into the issues you told us were important to you. And this includes listening to you, being guided by the planning meetups and leader input throughout the year. We'll also build on last year's webinars. And the approach that we're going to take this year is also going to be a bit different. We are going to keep our educational webinars, but we're also going to start implementing meetup formats. We've done it with our social gatherings, but we also are going to start some educational meetup formats. Again, for the deep dive, you told us in July that you would be interested in this if we chose a particular topic or discussed particular roles. The second goal that we have is this year we worked, as Jamie had mentioned, one of our major projects was the STC Communities Preferred Tools survey. But this year, we're really going to be committed to providing tools to assist leaders and volunteers. It's helpful to have the information when you need them. And it's important to access tools really to strengthen your community. And so we have the survey results. And Jamie did a great job, fantastic job as our survey project manager. And you know that last month she provided an entertaining and informative overview of the survey's results. And by the way, we did record that, so it is available. And this month, we're going to be publishing the executive summary of the results and the detailed survey results. And that should be going out within the next week or so. You know, you provided very valuable information that will continue to help STC leaders, and we are making that information available to the current leadership and hopefully for the future leadership. And I want to give a thank you and a shout out to Lori Meyer, who wrote the executive summary, and for Jamie, who took a tremendous amount of information and has been compiling and collating and just organizing it into a really great, I think, valuable tool. And thank you to the CAC team for your input on that.
Yes.
And I also want to mention that the CAC has a nice, really a strong video library of recordings that cover several years and a broad range of leadership topics. And they're located right now on the CAC website. So if you're new to leadership and looking for some assistance, or you want a refresher, just check out our recordings. And then the last tool is our CAC newsletter. This is an important resource because in addition to communicating our CAC events, we share STC news that's important to communities. For instance, I think last month we had a nice chart with all the awards and honors and deadlines and contact information. And we also invite community leaders. If you want to write an article that would really help the overall community, then you are welcome to do that. And that takes care of the set 2 goals. And the third goal will be we want to continue fostering a sense of community. And we think it's very important. And we'll continue our social meetups. And of course, we have our CAC incentive program. But whether it's the alliance competition or any shared programming, there's opportunities for community leaders to share their resources and hold mutual events or programs. So we're hoping that by having opportunities to meet each other, you'll be able to form a larger network. So now we'll go into what's new. So we already have several projects underway, and I'm sure that we'll be adding more projects during the year. And I just want to mention that if you have suggestions regarding how we can support communities, please tell us. And just know that like you, we are volunteers with other commitments and families and careers. So we can't guarantee we'll be able to act on all the recommendations, but we'll definitely listen. So I'll start off with what's new and talk about the STC Slack Workspace channels. I don't know how many people know, but CAC has a Slack channel, #leadership. And this channel really offers a convenient and immediate way to connect with other leaders. And, but it's much more than us with a one-way communication. Sharon Ford, who is our CAC social media director, has begun to post helpful community information, such as some milestones that a community would have throughout the year, deadlines, important dates. So, I hope that if you're not a member of our leadership channel, if you join, you'll get that important information. But then really more importantly, let's turn this leadership channel into a two-way channel. We invite and welcome leaders and volunteers to begin posting, share your tips, advice for other leaders, and questions and concerns. And we can make this an active channel. And there's one other channel that I think you would be interested in as leaders. And this is maybe less than a month old. It's #volunteer/opportunities. And STC CEO Liz Poland had created this channel. And I think it was done as a result of some panel discussions, and some help from some STC leaders. And what it does is it connects members who are interested in volunteer opportunities and leaders who are seeking volunteers. So it's another way to increase your participation. We know that it's important to you because you told us, and this would be a good channel. So now we'll go to an update by John.
Hi again. So I just want to provide an update on some student chapter initiatives. So there will be some changes from last year's student outreach in a way that I hope is helpful to student chapter leaders and advisors throughout STC. I really just have a goal of seeking more opportunities to just connect with just each of you who's leading a student chapter and really just find more ways and avenues to support them. And I put my contact information, like my email on the screen in case anyone wants to reach out to me for student outreach, just questions or advice, things like that. But in specific, some new initiatives that I wanted to do was to just increase the amount of meetups that we do. Last year, we tried to do 1 or 2 each semester, just having meetups kind of like this one where any student chapter leader, advisor, or anyone interested in student outreach is welcome to attend and just have discussions and also share opportunities that they're aware of for students. And so this year I want to do that monthly. And so far that pace has been upkept and it has been going well. We've been able to have some good discussions at the start of the semester in September, another one in October, and hopefully another one this month, and keeping up that pace for following months. And so the goal of those monthly outreaches will just be to provide a constant, consistent and frequent place for student chapter leaders and advisors to get together and just in a way that they may not otherwise, have otherwise, and just to share opportunities through it. Really just to make connections, because at the end of the day, making connections and networking is always helpful, especially in the student realm. And on top of that, we had talked about, or there had been talk about the STC Slack server earlier, and so I just want to make a point this semester and this school year as well to do my part in making connections and offering services through the Slack server as well. So there's an STC student chapters channel on the Slack server. And there, anyone is free to share opportunities or make discussion as it would be related to or helpful to students. And I moderate that channel and I do my best to post announcements and my own opportunities as I come across them as well there. So that is a resource that's available and I'm continuing to upkeep and hopefully everyone finds useful. And moving on to the last couple, sharing open opportunities is another goal of mine. At the most recent monthly student chapter meetup, I tried to share some both STC opportunities like the STC Student Scholarship, which has been launched and is open to apply to, STC Student Honor Societies, and outside of that, just some internship opportunities, because I believe that would be a helpful thing for students to know of or for advisors to tell their students about. And so that's something that I want to just encourage and hopefully offer more of this semester, this school year. And lastly, just having more one-on-ones with student leaders. I aim to just make those direct connections and just be available, be a resource for anyone I can help directly in a one-on-one sphere, whether it be chatting or video calling, because if anyone needs advice on student chapter leading or outreach, I'm happy to just connect in any way possible and to just be part of that process of, rejuvenating each chapter. And so those are the student chapter updates. So far, things are going well, and I'm hoping that throughout the school year, I can just be as much of a resource as possible and that the student chapter leader and advisor community in STC just grows and flourishes to be as good as it can be. So that is the update for student outreach so far.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, John. Okay, we'll go to Kylie, who's going to update us on the website task force.
Hi, everyone. A quick update on our initiative to transfer a lot of the information, or almost all of the information, from the CAC website to the home site. The stc.org site is underway. This year, we've been working along with Tim Esposito and the other members of the website task force committee to assess what information or content on the website for the CAC that currently exists needs to be archived and or updated and moved. We have successfully done that content audit, and now Sharon and I are going through all of the material and archiving it appropriately so that we can revise material and send that off to the website task force committee. Then they'll be able to upload that whenever the new site page has been created for us. We are on track to get that completed by the end of the year on our part, and hopefully you will be able to see those updates soon.
Okay, thank you, Kylie. And so our next update, new project will be Erica's going to explain the community planning tool.
Hi, the community planning tool is a worksheet that will put all of your STC chapter details in one place. A calendar of activities for you, your contacts, your engagement plan, finances. It will be, it will have sheets that can be customized for your own chapter needs or community needs. It's for chapters and communities, COIs, SIGs, pretty much anyone who wants to use it. We've been testing some aspects of it, and with different chapters and different people who've been so kind to help out with it. And we're hoping to have it ready for testing in early December and a rollout first quarter 2022. So let me know if you want to be one of those testing it, so we can see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked to help you guys out.
Okay, thank you, Erica. Yeah, Sharon and Erica have been hard at work in that, and thank you for that. And now we'll go to our last project so far, our mentorship program assessment, and Erin will update you on that.
Oh, thanks, Ann-Marie, and hello, everyone. Yes, this is a project that I have gotten assistance with Erica and Alex Garcia. And this project is basically to see what programs are already being done within the communities, and to try to see what we can do to amplify successful communities, and also to see where we can be of assistance as well. So it started with STC is reviewing its own mentor board, and we're trying to see how we can find a successful mentor program. And people were asking, they asked questions of the home office of who has a mentor board, and if they're successful, if they're not, what type of programming. And we, as we're trying to think of new resources for students and new professionals, and we realized that communities are doing a lot of this work, and we've known that they have. It hasn't been a consolidated place where all of that information can live. So we wanted to provide that to you, because we think knowing what the programs that are out there that the communities are running, what are successful, which ones may need support, which ones may need volunteers to help operate them. It may be opportunity for communities to grow. It may be opportunities for communities to find new volunteers. They might not know that, chapter is here and that it has this opportunity for someone to plug in. And there are also a lot of successful programs that are offering, resume review, presentation help, peer-to-peer interview help, and such that I know communities run. So we want to make sure we're amplifying those. Some of them don't have community barriers, some do, but we want to make sure that if students and new professionals are looking for us, they're looking for these types of tools. And if it's something that you guys are already doing, we want to make sure that we're supporting the programs that exist, and also seeing what we can do to help support them and amplify them, and how we could maybe fill in some of the holes in the home office if things are lacking. So we want to just start those conversations so we can learn what you all are doing and what works and what doesn't. And then get you some volunteers if that's needed, or participation if that's what's needed. If people don't know that it exists, I've been able to, as I've been looking and researching, I've found a lot of information out there already that I've been able to kick some members to, new potential members. So I'm excited to be able to share those people with you. And we also want to find ways to support programs. And again, with the initiative that Ann-Marie had brought up earlier, is to start conversations within community leaders, where it may be, a couple community We know that certain programs, there may be a couple of communities or chapters that work together to provide a certain opportunity. So we can continue to have those liaisons. You might know something exists, or you may have something similar in your group. And if you are alongside a certain, another type of chapter that's close by you, perhaps that'd be something that you can support both of your chapters. So we want to make sure that we're making sure you're having those conversations as well, so that your other chapters that are doing things with similar programs, you can have those conversations and idea swaps and things of that nature. So we'll be sending out a survey. You'll be seeing that hopefully sometime this week to community leaders. It's just basically to ask some basic information about what I've been talking about. If you have programs, what they are they successful, and a little bit more information about that. And with that information, that'll be our first step. And then once we have that, we'll know who we need to communicate with and what we can do to get those programs more visible to our members on the main STC site, so we can all grow together in the upcoming membership year. So we're excited.
Okay, thank you. And so, so as you can see, we have an ambitious year ahead of us, and it's exciting that the CAC is working with the STC head office. So I'm looking at the time, so we have some surprises in store, so I want to make sure we get to them. So I'm going to move along. This is going to be about some of our events that we're having this year. And so next week is on November 17th, we're going to have the CAC Meetup, and this is going to be a deep dive into STC Communities Preferred Tools Survey. The registration is up. And as I mentioned, this is almost like a part 2 of our survey results. Last month, Jamie presented a webinar on the overview of the results, and now we're going to send out the more detailed results, and we're going to invite leaders to come have an informal talk. It's an open forum, and bring your questions, your discussions, and most importantly, again, we're talking about connection this year. It's a great way to meet other leaders who are using tools that perhaps you want to learn more about. You can have a buddy system. So that is the event next week, and I hope to see you there. And drop in as your schedule allows. You don't have to stay for the full hour, but we will not be recording it because it isn't more of informal discussion. November 17th is a busy time. The STC later in the evening is having their Metro Chapter's virtual 50th anniversary meetup. This is not a CAC event, but I did want to mention it because 50 years, that is an impressive milestone. And the Philadelphia chapter is inviting all STC members to celebrate with them. So I just wanted you to know about that. And then next month, on December 7th, we're going to have Getting to Know the STC Slack Workspace, and that's with Grant Horgath and Todd DeLuca. And Grant is an experienced Slack user, and it's going to be practical tips and techniques, how to learn to use Slack more efficiently. And one of the results from the survey was that some leaders mentioned that they'd like to know more about how to actually use Slack shortcuts and things, and how to get their members involved. So this is going to be open to all STC members. And we hope that you will invite your membership to join and to hear what Grant has to say. And Todd DeLuca will also be participating, and he'll be talking more about how STC uses Slack. So, and the next ones, this is looking next year, because hopefully we'll all be together at the summit next year, and the CAC will be hosting a leadership event. Things are, in flux, especially it's still with the pandemic and all. So it won't probably be what you're used to, but change is good. And so we will be committed to having a leadership event. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we'll continue our virtual leadership event because it was popular and well received last year. And MK says, yes, and Dan, that's right. There are Chicago hosts, and we hope to see you guys there. Okay, moving on. We just have some important STC dates. And looking ahead, December 13th is the first due date, and that is for the honor societies. If you have anyone that you know of STC member that would be a good candidate, please spread this information. December 31st is the STC Society level scholarship, because I know many chapters have scholarships. And Kylie Jacobson, who is you met today, and you may probably already know her. She is the committee chair. So if you have any questions, please reach out to Kylie. And then December 31st, please know that the membership season will expire. And so it's time to renew and, time to perhaps remind your members of what all the great benefits they get for being part of your community, chapter or SIG. And a little reminder never hurts. And coming up next year, January 31st, will be the Community Achievement and Pace Setter Awards deadlines. And just as a reminder, Allison Phillips, who was last year's committee chair, she did a presentation, a webinar on the changes from the CAA application. And so that is available for viewing. Okay, next. Now it's time for our incentive program rollout. And if we could go to the next. And before Danielle is not here today, but she does have something prepared for us. But before we show it, I just want to say that this incentive program really is an excellent team building activity. If you want to get your leadership council involved or your volunteers, the best part is all the work is done by the CAC. And by the CAC, I mean by Danielle Villegas mostly. She's been a great liaison. I think you would agree with that. So here's a wonderful activity. You can do this together as team building, and you don't have to do any of the work. We'll do it for you. And so now, Erin, if we could show Danielle's video.
Hi, everyone. This is Danielle Villegas. I'm the CAC Communications Director. I'm also the acting president of the Philadelphia chapter and the chair of the DCSA committee. I'm coming here today because I am going to be telling you a little bit more about the incentive program that we have this year. I'm sorry I can't be with you today, but I've got another engagement. So hopefully this will do. So let's get started. But wait, I think I need to make a wardrobe change. Hold on. So you may wonder why I have this costume change. It's because of this. We are having another incentive program this year. And instead of doing something like superheroes, we decided that this is the year we're going to take a deep dive into different leadership topics. Hence the diving outfit. So let's go ahead and talk about what that's all about. This year, the CAC is taking a deep dive into the topics that STC leaders told us were important to them. The CAC invites STC leaders and volunteers to embark on an exciting journey by enrolling in the CAC's new incentive program, the STC Deepsea Adventure. Intrepid enrollees will go on a deep dive into the tools and strategies that will strengthen their communities and outreach goals. Just as divers must master skills before they can advance to the next level, you will learn new techniques and gain leadership experience as you progress through the program's levels. Are you ready to take a deep dive into your existing practices and challenges and embrace new ways to invigorate your community? Dive in. The STC Deepsea Adventure has launched. The incentive program is offered during the CAC 2021-2022 season. Like last year, STC enrollees earn points for completing activities, to strengthen their communities. As you master each level and dive deeper into the watery unknown, you will come closer to this fantastic journey's ultimate goal, the discovery of sunken treasure and its mysterious contents. As with all adventures, there will be a few surprises along the way. Now, you may ask, who's eligible to do this? Well, all STC members who participate in CAC activities, including CAC team members who are also volunteers in their own STC communities, may participate in the program and earn badges. So you may be asking next, how do I enroll? Well, enrollment is voluntary. To begin your adventure, you would complete the STC Deepsea Adventure Enrollment Form. You'll receive a welcome badge at the start of your mission. We'll tell you a little bit more about that form later in the program here. I, Danielle Villegas, will be returning as the Incentive Programs Liaison. Last year's superhero information broker has left for another assignment to parts unknown, so I'll be working with our CAC diving instructor. Just as divers must master skills before they can advance to the next level, you will learn new techniques and gain leadership experience as you progress through the program's levels. So let's take a look at those levels. The first level is New Diver, worth 2 points. Divers begin their training by learning the basics and being comfortable in their new environment. You're on board, foot off the dock, ready to jump in. It's just a matter of feeling comfortable in your volunteer role. Just as divers depend on diving buddies as they explore the unknown, you can count on the STC community during your leadership journey. The next level is Safe Swimmer, worth 5 points. After divers learn the fundamentals and safety skills, they are ready to put that knowledge into practice. You've learned the foundations of leading a community. You're ready for more challenges. The next level is the Confined Water Diver, worth 9 points. Divers first test their new skills and ability in a limited area. Now you're ready to test the waters and try something new in your community. You've gained the skills and experience to start a deeper dive. Within some limits, you are learning to navigate your way through deeper water. The next level is Open Water Diver, worth 13 points. Divers are now prepared for the rigors and challenges of exploring the underwater world. It's not about the number of dives, but rather a diver's skill level. Here's your final diving test. This is your opportunity to show the skills you've mastered. You could put a Navy SEAL to shame. Next is the Master Diver, worth 17 points. Divers who reach this level possess a high level of commitment and dedication. They have a proven record of achievement. Aquaman has nothing on you. You can dwell among the creatures of the deep and navigate through rough seas. You have embraced new ways to invigorate your community and mentor new STC volunteers. The last level is the STC Deepsea Adventure Treasure, worth 20 points. Congratulations on a job well done. Your dedication and hard work has strengthened your STC community and earned you the honor of unlocking the sunken treasure. The CAC's Deepsea Adventure Incentive Program has ended for you, but your STC leadership journey continues. Okay, so at this point you're saying, that's all well and good, but can you give me some examples of some things that I can do to earn these badges? Well, let's look at a couple examples. Some examples of things that you can do this year are join the STC Slack and the leadership channel. You could register for or present a CAC educational webinar. You could attend or host a CAC social meetup, write an article for the CAC newsletter, attend the in-person leadership day at Summit later this year, or you could register for the virtual CAC leadership program. As I mentioned before, we'll also throw in a couple surprises along the way, so stay tuned. So at this point, I'm sure you're saying, Danielle, what do I need to do? I am in. What do I need to do? Well, to enroll, it's pretty easy. All you need to do is go to the CAC website, which is found at cac-stc.org. And under that, go to the leadership resources. And under there is a link to the page for the STC Deepsea Adventure Incentive Program, which you can see a little bit of that right here on the slide. On that page, you'll see all the information that we just reviewed about the program, and you'll see the link, which is the first thing listed here, but it's also linked a few times in the page, so you can enroll in the program. Once you enroll in the program, we'll be sending out the welcome badges shortly thereafter, and we'll be keeping track of all the points and all the events that you attend. And we'll send out your new badges probably about once a month, if not sooner. And we just hope that you are excited as we are about this. If you have any questions that I haven't covered in today's little presentation, feel free to email me at stc.daniellev@gmail.com. And on that note, happy diving. Anne-Marie, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. I think that was a great video, and thanks so much for Danielle.
For about a week. So now I'm going to show you.
Whoops, I think. So I can see we're at the top of the hour, but I do want to say thank you for Danielle. You know, she couldn't be here, but she created a really beautiful, creative video that I know that you enjoyed, and I think now we're all excited to join the incentive program. And I just want to mention that Kylie Jacobson gave us our theme this year. You know, every year we kind of get together, brainstorm as a committee, and try to figure out the theme. And Kylie came up with the theme, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks, Kylie, for that. And again, it is at the top of the hour, so I don't want to hold everyone, but thank you again for joining us. And I see that there were questions in the chat, but I believe the CAC committee has answered those questions. I'll also look at the chat after. I'll save the transcript, and if there's any questions, I'll follow up. So again, thank you very much. Here's to a great year. And thank you again for all that you do to serve your members. And we'll be seeing you at a future event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And yeah, and if our team wants to put their video on as people sign off, I think we can do that to say goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.